Many of us have heard or continue to be reminded that we need to drink at least 8 glasses of water per day. But do you really know why? Our body is made up of over 75% water and we need it to survive. I'm Solis, Enagic's international distributor, and for a living, I help people discover what health truly means. Again, this is Kangen Demo by Kangen Waterhouse, PH. So what I'm going to show you are different kinds of water that we're consuming here in the Philippines. What we have is the tap water. Some people still drink this kind of water, but what you actually don't know, tap water is full of contaminants and added chemicals which are harmful to our bodies. On the other hand, bottled water might seem to be the better option, but the production process is heavily regulated and contains harmful chemicals leads from a plastic container. What we have here is purified water. This will represent any kinds of purified water available in the market. Also, we have here an example of a distilled water. This will represent any kinds of distilled water that are very much bought here in the Philippines. And another example of a distilled water. Now for our tap brands. Again, it will represent any other tap brands in the market that you may see or actually consuming. For the sports drink, this will be the representation of all the vitamin water and all of the energy drinks. A soda. Majority of the people love drinking this one. It will again represent any sodas, whether it is a diet soda or zero sugar. And now for our Kangen water. There are 3 main properties. What I'm going to show you is the first property, which is antioxidation, which we commonly known here as antioxidant. By the way, when you say oxidation, it means the rusting process, or simply means aging in our body. I have an example here for you to understand well. Let's say I cut an apple into pieces, then let it stay there for like several minutes. What do you think will happen to the apple? Doesn't it gradually change color and decay? Why do you think that happened? It's because of the free radicals from the air that comes through the cells of the produce. The cause of free radicals are pollution, UV rays, stress, and a lot more. Free radical is actually a molecule with a missing electron. Free radicals occurs when an oxygen molecule containing paired electrons breaks its chemical bond, turning the atom into a free radical state. But this process makes the atom reactive. For them to become stable, they steal electrons from atoms and molecules. But this causes a lot more free radicals and damage our body's cells. This is also the reason of diseases like diabetes, cardiovascular disease, cancer, accelerated aging, and many more. What could be the answer for this? Antioxidants. They donate spare electrons to free radicals to neutralize them without losing their stability. I have here an ORP meter used by Bureau of Fisheries to actually measure the oxidation reduction potential of the liquid. I want you to look at this ORP chart where you can see 2 sides, one with a positive sign and another with a negative sign. We are about to test the tap water. By the way, when you see no negative sign in an ORP meter, ORP stands for oxidation reduction potential. Again, when you see no negative sign, it means that the liquid is positive for aging. But when you see a negative sign, that means it is antioxidant. Now, as you can see, our purified water has no negative sign, which means it is positive for aging. Now, moving on with our distilled water. Again, no negative sign. That means it is positive for aging or rusting. Another distilled, there is no negative sign, so again, it is positive for rusting. And now for our top brand. As you can see, there's still no negative sign, so it's positive for aging. By the way, these are all clean waters, but what I really want you to notice is the differences between being safe to drink as compared with being healthy to drink. Now, with our sports drink, as you can see, it runs around 420 plus, so yes, it's still positive for aging. And our soda, this is much higher. Look at the ORP meter, it runs about 450 and up. Sometimes it goes up to 600. Now, I want you to pay attention. What will happen if I place this ORP meter to our Kangen water? Did you see the negative sign there? Again, back to our chart, the vitamin C is just around negative 50. The green tea is around negative 100. But in our Kangen water, it actually goes around negative 700. In fact, in a cup of our Kangen water, you can get more than 10 times the potency of antioxidants from our usual sources. Let's hear it from Dr. Filzer himself.
Can have a negative Kangen water at a pH of 9.5, which is an electron donating reduction potential of up to 600 millivolts. It's measured in millivolts. You couldn't eat enough fruits and vegetables to get anywhere near that amount into your system.
For the second part, I have a pH chart where we can use as a guide to measure the acidity level of the liquid that we're actually consuming. When you see the green color, that means it's neutral, not acidic, not alkaline. But when you happen to see yellow, orange to red, that means the liquid is so acidic, which causes sickness. And for blue to purple color, that means the liquid is alkaline. But don't get confused, because there is a huge difference between being alkaline and alkalized water. Alkaline is just simply water with a higher pH, while alkalized, considered the best drinking water, for it is rich in hydrogen, minerals, and contains powerful antioxidants. Mostly, all waters look exactly the same. However, always keep in mind that not all water is created equal. Now, let's start. What I have here is a pH tester, which measures the acidity or alkalinity of a liquid. Let's add at least 4 drops to all of the liquids just to be fair. We're done with the top water. Now with the purified water, our distilled, another sample of a distilled water, and now our top brand. I want you to look at the chart as a guide. Our sports drink, sodas, and finally, our Kangen water. Now, as you look at the chart and the liquid, you will see that most of our daily drinking water are acidic. Our tap water has a green color, which means this classifies as a neutral water. But like what I've said earlier, tap water is actually a government regulated, so they have to be neutral to be safer to drink. But they put chlorine and lye, LYE, it's an alkaline substance, because they want to prevent our pipes from rusting. So many people uses purifier to take off the harmful chemicals. But there is a big possibility that all the natural minerals will be taken off. So most of our purified water is already acidic. With our distilled water right here, if you've noticed, it's more like on the orange side because there is no present mineral at all. Distilled water is actually dead water, and our body needs minerals to actually absorb the water. And for our top brand, you can really notice the huge difference in color compared with our Kangen water. Now, our sports drink and soda are also very acidic that you can actually see orangey red right there. Now, for the Kangen Kangen water, you can really see the differences of the color. But this doesn't end here. Most bottled water claims that they are alkaline water, but most of them are alkaline just because of what's been added to them. Alkalized water becomes alkaline from extracting what's already in the water, not by adding things to it. What I'm about to show you is a little experiment of how everything we read on label is not true. This test will expose each water to a very acidic waste product, namely carbon dioxide. The carbon dioxide we exhale is one of the ways our body expels waste. The main methods the body uses to actually remove waste are perspiration, urination, defecation, and respiration. In simple terms, sweating, peeing, pooping, and exhaling. I'm gonna be testing the top brand in our Kangen water here. I want you to pay attention and tell me what will happen in our top brand. The color gradually changes from light blue, which means alkaline, to green, which means just neutral. Again, most of the labeled alkaline water becomes alkaline just because of what's been added to them. And now, let's test our Kangen water right here. As you can see, they have the same length of time. Let's see what happens. The color remains the same. Let's add another seconds. Clearly, our Kangen water doesn't change color at all, which means again alkalized water becomes alkaline from extracting what's already in there. In our Kangen machine, we don't put any additives just to make the water healthy. The process is called electrolysis.
Electricity becoming the engine of the ionizer. When the water passes over the plates, the minerals in the water are separated into two streams of water, one alkaline and one acidic. The more plate surface area and the more power you can apply to the plates, the better the separation and the better the quality of the ionized water. Some metals are better electrical conductors than others, and some hold up to the abuse of electrolysis. While some manufacturers use stainless steel or white gold because they are less expensive, the most reputable companies use titanium and platinum. Titanium is used because it is a very dense metal and is a great conductor of electricity. Platinum is a great durable conductor of electricity, and it's applied on top of the titanium to keep the titanium from breaking down in water during electrolysis. Enagic's SD501 water ionizer has the ability to utilize the highest wattage in the industry. Everyone knows that if you want a brighter light, you use a higher wattage light bulb. With ionizers, the higher the wattage, the more it impacts the water. Enagic also uses a transformer for their power supply. A transformer is the most stable, effective, and time-tested form of electrical regulator available on the market today. But Enagic machines don't overheat because of their precision engineering and technology. Most other machines don't use transformers because they cannot handle the heat generated.
So a little history about Kangen water. It was developed from what we know miracle water sources all over the globe. So Dr. Kawanda, a Nobel Prize winner and a Romanian scientist, he dedicated 6 decades of his life just to study the water sources. And what he discovers is that these waters had high alkaline pH and extraordinary amount of hydrogen. What our Japanese scientists did is to develop a device that could recreate the same miracle water for us to actually consume in our home's comfort. Now going back, let's say you've been drinking bottled water for a long time, and then you started to drink Kangen water. Do you know what will happen to your body? So this is our Kangen water. Let's say you've been drinking from tap water for a long time and then you started to drink Kangen water. As you can see, it becomes alkaline. But maybe some of you might say that it's just because of the color. Let us now try it with our clear Kangen water. This is actually clear, and I have a glass to actually show you that the water really has no color. Drinking purified water makes your body acidic. But what will happen if you started drinking Kangen water? Your body becomes alkaline. Same goes with other bottled water here. Now pay attention to these two right here, the sports drink and the soda. As you've noticed, they both didn't change color at all. It is because they are so acidic that you actually need 32 glasses of Kangen water just to neutralize them. However, even if you already consume Kangen water, then you suddenly goes back drinking soda or sports drink, even just a sip. This is what happens to your body. You will go back being acidic. Acidosis refers to high levels of acid in the body. If the body becomes too acidic, this can cause serious health problems. No matter how alkalized your body is, once you go back drinking soda or sports drink, your body reacts, and the worst is, too much acidity our body gets will result acidosis. We are now experiencing a worldwide healthcare crisis of degenerative diseases caused by acidic waste. It's really a good thing that you're drinking so much water, but the most important thing is, has your body absorbed the water you drink? We are now at the third property. Kangen water is microclustered.
Some of the same properties as hexagonal water. A regular water cluster does not absorb as quickly or as easily as a smaller Kangen water cluster. Kangen water is more readily absorbed by the body and allows for better hydration. This smaller cluster is also why Kangen water tastes so soft and silky. Let's demonstrate the microclustering property of Kangen water.
Let's say that this tea bag represents your body. I want you to pretend that you're drinking ordinary water. We all know that tea bags can't produce color when the water is not heated. However, I want you to pay attention how the tea bag quickly absorbed by the Kangen water. By the way, this is not hot, but I will transfer it to the glass for you to see if it will moist, because mostly that's what happened to the heated glass, right? As you can see, it's just clear. This is purely fresh from the machine. This is really important for detoxification or losing weight. I know some of you might say it's not fair because the tea bag is already wet. Let's try it again with another one for you to know that I weren't cheating. And I'm going to put it back again using our Kangen water. Now you know why you feel bloated after drinking this water. It's because it just sits in your stomach and not actually absorbed by your intestines. Now, I want you to pretend that this tea extract right here is your vitamins. I wanted you to know that Kangen water accelerates and increases nutrients in the vitamins that you're taking. Let's see this in action. The Kangen water absorbs the tea better. That shows you how you can absorb nutrients better and how you can get toxins out of your body. Kangen machines are able to provide water that can deeply penetrate your cells and provides better hydration. So now you've seen what Kangen machine can do to your health. It's now easy to see why Magic says, change your water, change your life.